This vertical mouse and an ergonomic keyboard literally saved my video editing career and gave me my life back, and I am not exaggerating. Let me go ahead and tell you what happened. I'm Brian, a professional videographer and video editor, and kind of over the last year or so, I've been experiencing the worst off and on wrist pain from repetitive strain of using my little Apple mouse for 8 to 10 or even more hours every single day. You know, it would kind of come and go depending on how much I had to work it. I'm not talking about like a dull pain. I'm talking about like sharp pain shooting from like my forearm up to my wrist. And like, honestly, this went on for months. And like, I was starting to get scared that, you know, I wouldn't be able to sustain my passion and my career of videography and filmmaking and video editing. You know, it didn't just affect my video editing. It also made shooting very, very painful, because my wrist was hurting so badly from editing that shooting like in a handheld position or with a Steadicam became really, really painful. That's one of the reasons why I switched to the DJI RS3 Mini from the GlideCam HD 2000, was to try and help this, because my wrist was literally in so much pain and so weak a lot of the time that I just couldn't operate a Steadicam anymore. You know, I was trying everything, even going to weekly chiropractor visits where she'd adjust my hand and wrist, and I got some temporary relief, but it was never an actual fix. You know, I would do like wrist stretches, and you know, sometimes those would help, but I was getting to the point where I was considering going to like the actual doctor, getting x-rays and trying to figure out what the hell was going on and if it can be fixed, because like my career as a videographer and video editor was looking like it might literally be over. And like, I didn't have a plan B. I'm not one of those smart people that got an accounting or a business degree to fall back on, you know, if my art failed. I know how to bag groceries, how to run a cash register, and how to make videos, and bagging groceries and running a cash register just doesn't cut it in this economy. One of my good friends would periodically mention that I should try a vertical mouse and get an ergonomic keyboard to try and help relieve some of that pressure and strain on my wrists. And, you know, I put it off and would forget about it. And finally, I did it. Like recently, I finally bought the vertical mouse and the keyboard. I personally went with the BNNWA wireless vertical mouse, multi-Bluetooth and 2.4G USB mouse, and the EDJO ergonomic Bluetooth and USB wireless keyboard, both of which are a freaking mouthful. Amazon really needs to get better at their naming conventions. But oh my god, like after a few weeks of using them, my pain is so much less. Like I cannot even explain how much less. Like most of the time it's nearly entirely gone. And you know, I'm gonna be working on exercises to try and rebuild the strength in the wrist soon. But in such a short time, you know, to go from I'm scared I can't even keep editing because my wrist is screaming in pain to like I feel occasional weakness and minor discomfort, it's amazing. And like literally 95% of the time, I don't feel at all uncomfortable. I completely forget about it, honestly. So the key benefit of a vertical mouse is that it takes the pressure off of your wrist and allows it to sit at a more natural and comfortable angle. And you can use the mouse with your forearm muscles instead of your wrist muscles. And it also doesn't force you to kind of turn your wrist and put unnecessary pressure on kind of the median nerve. You know, the same is true of the ergonomic keyboard. It helps reduce the pressure on your wrists, and it improves your posture while you're typing, which helps everything overall. And when you're on the computer for like 8 or 10 hours a day, this is necessary. Even if you're not experiencing pain right now, it's not a bad thing to switch preemptively to avoid the problems, because I didn't experience the pain for several years of using the Apple mouse, and then boom, it started. But I do want to keep it real here. And it is a little bit of an adjustment getting used to this vertical mouse when you're going from a horizontal mouse, especially for like fine motor movements like video editing. Like don't expect it to be like a fully seamless transition without some frustrating moments as you're trying to make precise edits. You know, I'm still getting the hang of editing with it, but over the last few weeks I have gotten so much better and feel like within the next few weeks, I'll basically be as fast and precise as I was with the standard mouse. It's just going to take a little bit of time to fully adjust to it. It also takes a bit to get used to the right click and left click and scroll wheel being on the side and not on the top, but after a while it becomes kind of motor memory, just like using a regular mouse. And I really like the feel of the scroll wheel. It's comfortable, scrolls easily, and feels natural with the grip on the mouse. The keyboard is the same scenario. It takes a little bit to get used to typing on it. The first day I had it, I literally felt like I was back in grade school typing class, looking down at the keys and trying to figure out what I was doing and making so many errors. But now it feels really natural and is a lot kinder on my wrists. The wrist pad on it is really comfortable and the keyboard feels good to type on. While they both do have USB options, I use them with the Bluetooth to save the USB ports on my iMac for hard drives. Both the mouse and the keyboard are Mac and PC compatible right out of the box, with no problems connecting them to my Mac. They take AA batteries that so far are lasting well. I might have to do an update when they finally do run out and let people know how long they last, but I can confirm that at least 3 weeks in of using them really extensively, they are still going. If you're struggling with repetitive strain injury on your mouse hand, or even both hands, with your keyboard, and you're using a standard mouse or an Apple mouse or something like that, you might really consider trying a vertical mouse and an ergonomic keyboard. This particular vertical mouse was $20 on Amazon, and the keyboard runs for about $60 on Amazon. There are other options out there as well, but what I particularly like and why I went with a slightly more expensive keyboard and mouse is their flexibility. They're both USB and Bluetooth, both Mac and PC. So literally, I'll be able to use them on any system, take them with me even if I switch computers, even if I switched systems. If I need to use it with a computer that doesn't have Bluetooth, I am set. I am literally set no matter what. And for me, that was worth, the $60 keyboard and the $20 mouse. And if you do want to check out either of them, I've got affiliate links down below that you can feel free to click on. I do get a little bit of a kickback at no extra cost to you, which helps the channel keep on ticking. If you enjoyed this video, consider hitting that like button. And let me know if you've struggled with repetitive strain injuries from too much editing or gaming or just general computer use. Have a fantastic day, guys. See you very soon, and don't forget to subscribe.